Have you been watching 10,000s of YouTube videos, read all of the books, taking courses and classes on how to be a calmer, better parent so you don't yell, you don't shout, and you don't get as triggered by your child anymore? But then you're able to do it for like 5 minutes, and even before you had your first coffee in the morning, you are already yelling at your child. I know I've been there. I've seriously read so many books. I've taken courses, I've taken classes on how to say the perfect sentence to my kid when they're having a meltdown. And yes, it's all valuable, but I think there is one huge thing that all of these books and courses are missing. And this is exactly what I'm going to talk about in today's video. This video is going to explain why you're not able to be calmer, more patient, and less yelling parent, even when you really want to. Hello, my name is Kasia, and I'm a mom of 3, and I have been that overwhelmed, yelling mom that could never really find anything that created lasting change. At one point, I felt like I was not cut out to be a mom because I would always end up yelling. And the books and courses, the reels I was saving like a maniac just didn't do the trick because none of them changed how I felt inside. The thing was that I was feeling on edge all of the time. I was hyper alert, super vigilant, and basically a nerve wreck. And all of that affected how I was parenting and how I was able to connect with my kids. Let me rewind for a second. Why do I talk about this? Why does my stress levels and my inner feelings matter? You see, your kids and my kids, they pick up on our energy actually much more than our words. When I was growing up, I experienced what I would call as trauma. And I didn't realize that before I was like years into my adulthood. But after becoming a parent myself, I realized that a lot of the things that I had been through were really not that good. That the way my parents connected with me, the way they parented me, led me to some pretty bad decisions in life. Because of how my parents raised me, I didn't believe in myself the way I should. I didn't choose relationships that I should. I learned that love had to be earned and could easily be taken away from me if I didn't act a certain way. I wanted to be calm, able to stay regulated even when my kids were like crying or having tantrums, but instead I was really reactive. I got easily overstimulated by sounds that my kids were making. I couldn't stay patient and I rushed my kids a lot. I would often yell and lash out because I felt as overwhelmed. And inside of me, there was this feeling of constant stress, fear, uneasiness, and anxiety, which I couldn't pinpoint like where it was coming from. But it felt like my kids were triggering and almost like being the reason of why I was so stressed. And for so many years, I thought this was like normal, that this was normal to feel this way because it was my normal. But then it just all clicked one day. No matter how much I read about parenting and how important it is to be calm, none of that matters if I don't feel calm inside. If I wanted my children to be calm and secure around me, I had to feel that myself. And therefore, it didn't matter how calmly I spoke or had like the perfect Instagram sentence because my kids were not just reacting to my words, but they were reacting to the stress in my body. They do this because they co-regulate with us, especially young children. They are so sensitive to our energy, our body language, facial expression, and like tone of voice. Just look at small babies, how they always are seeking the primal caregiver and looking at their reactions, like when they're experiencing something new before they're reacting themselves. So basically, when I understood that and I started to implement activities that will help me change my inner state, like calm me down and actually make me feel safe, all of the Instagram quotes, the reels that I've saved and the books that I've read, they kind of made sense and they started to work. So little by little, I started to become the parent that I wanted to be because I could now stay calm and regulated even when my kids weren't. And before my eyes, I could witness like the most amazing transformation. And that was not just how I was feeling, but it was how my kids were behaving. So one of my sons is neurodivergent and he's really sensitive to other people's like energies. He can really easily get out of balance. And when I worked on myself and changed my inner state, it happened like this amazing change within him as well. It was the most meaningful confirmation that I was on the right path, that this was really what mattered if I wanted to have like a peaceful, connected home. It's not that my kids are not loud anymore or energetic, but it's different when children are just being happy, playful, goofing around, compared to when they're unregulated or crying or shouting or having meltdowns. Becoming a calmer parent that is not overwhelmed all of the time or yelling is about two things. One, you have to become aware of your inner state, like your default nervous system state. And two, you have to do the work that can help you rewrite your state and create a calmer version. This is what I call reparenting yourself. And this includes several different steps. But for today, ask yourself this. Like, on a scale, where is your nervous system at? Is your default state like a stressed one? So if you are in this survival mode, you might notice that you wake up already tense, like your body is like kind of bracing itself for a new day. Your shoulders are automatically like lift upward, your jaw is clenched, maybe you're breathing a bit fast, and you're always doing everything fast, like walking fast, talking fast, cooking fast, cleaning fast. That was me, and I still end up there sometimes. And you might get irritated at small things and overwhelmed by noises, by mess, much more than what you might consider as kind of normal. For me, I found it, for example, really hard to sit down and rest because it was like my body didn't know how to switch off. I always had to kind of do something and feel like I were doing something productive in order to kind of relax. If you are in the more regulated zone, you might feel that you don't have this internal rush, that you're able to sit down and really relax and enjoy the moment. You move and speak like more calmly, more steadily. You can hear your kids whine and argue without feeling instantly stressed or becoming stressed yourself. And it means you can choose how you respond instead of you just like reacting. Basically, it means that you're able to notice a stressful moment without going into the overwhelm yourself. If you want to become a calmer parent and a calmer person that feels more safe and secure, it is important to realize what's your inner state. Recognize where is your internal state for the most part during the day. Because when you understand what this internal state is and where you're at, you can start to do things and activities that bring you more into the calm and regulated version. And if this made sense, if this awakened anything in you, please comment below, let me know. And remember to like and subscribe so you will know when the next video is published and I can reach out to even more people. This work, if you really do this work, it can change your relationship with your child. It can change your relationship with yourself and basically with everyone around you, because this affects all parts of your life. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.